Okay, that's another death. Turns out I can kill myself by just walking a bucket against a wall and standing next to it. Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. I'm the Spiffing Brit, and today we are playing the fantastic game of Skyrim. But this time, with a twist, we're going to completely and utterly smash this game using only one hit point. That's right, our character will only have one single sliver of health, meaning if so much as a gusty fart from a dragon comes wafting our direction, we will fall over dead. Now, of course, this game is Skyrim, created by the legendary video game designer Todd Howard, who, as we all know, is effectively our one true god. Now, Todd, in his infinite wisdom, made Skyrim one of the most difficult and challenging games ever created, and just like Thanos himself, he even perfectly balanced the game to make sure there were no bugs or exploits, and instead only intended features. Now today, using a whole array of intended features and game mechanics added by the one and only God Todd, we will be showing just how incredibly fun Skyrim can be when you only have one hit point. This is the ultimate challenge of Skyrim, and ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be perfectly balanced. So make sure you're sat back, relaxed, you have a nice warm cup of tea in hand, and if you're feeling especially fantastic, you can even like this video. Now, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, strap yourselves in, for this is going to be one of the greatest videos of all time. So let's jump right into it and make a brand new character for our legendary one health adventure. Let's go, my friends. Oh my goodness, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. The low sounds of rumbling, the lovely introduction, you know what time it is. It's probably my 70th time starting Skyrim again, but my goodness, what an experience it always is. Ah, the glorious, beautiful world of Skyrim, created by a whole bunch of visionaries working complete overtime. My goodness, isn't it truly lovely? Now, when it comes to designing our character, at the end of the day, our character is only going to have 1 HP, which does generally make the game slightly more difficult than it was ever intended, because so much as an arrow or a skeleton simply swinging in our general direction will instantaneously kill us. There is basically nothing you can do to avoid this. I mean, sure, there are ways to, of course, add additional health by, say, leveling up or having items that fortify your health. However, I believe that would completely and utterly destroy the balance of a 1 HP run. Consequently, we will not be adding any more health to our character beyond 1, meaning the only way we can defeat this game is if we manage to convince all enemies to either not attack us, or we kill them before they can even land a hit. This is going to take one hell of a broken, overpowered build to beat, and trust me, I know exactly what I want to do. So let's design our lovely hero. So we're going to be playing as a lovely wood elf. Of course, we could make the bulkiest wood elf imaginable, but no, we are noodle wood elf. So I've created my character. He's a little bit unique. He's really long in terms of head shape, and my goodness, is he just the finest specimen of beautifulness that I've ever seen. So it's time for us to finish and name our glorious character. Well, here we have it, ladies and gentlemen, the ultimate glorious character. It is Nigel the Noodle. He is the living embodiment of a wet noodle. It does basically no damage, but my goodness, is he not a beautiful little sausage. Now, of course, I can't actually lower my health until I get a health bar, and that won't happen until the legendary Dragon Ex Machina happens, and we get saved from getting our head lobbed off. As is that man over there smiling? Why are you smiling? We are literally all about to get murdered. Everyone else is looking pretty sad, but nope, you're looking pretty happy over there. Oh my goodness. Oh, lovely. It's a glorious dragon here to save us. Fantastic. Now, of course, if we were to get hit by anything from that dragon, we're dead instantly, but now's the time because we finally get to take control of our character and we can move. Lovely. Fantastic. Let's make our way into the keep, and this is where the hellscape of our life begins, because now I need to simply set the command to lower my own health to 1 HP. So it's time for the ultimate command, player.setav health to 1. There we go. Now that is our entire health point lowered to 1 health. How on earth can we test it? Well, if we stand up here and get breathed on by a dragon, we should die instantly. There we go. 1 single hit and we're dead. The health bar doesn't even appear because that is how little health we have. So naturally we have to stand up here, wait for the dragon to arrive, and good lord, run away as far as possible, because yeah, we really can't die. Right, up the tower we go. Right, now all I have to do is jump through the roof and get onto the other roof, although one slight issue, 1 HP. That's going to make jumping to the other side quite the challenge, as we can't take any fall damage. Okay, this is going to be challenge number 1. My goodness. Is there a way to do this jump without dying? Oh yes, but touching the fire is an instant death. This is going to be a challenge. much. But it only needs to be done once. Right, I'm standing here. There's no fire. I'm not dead. There we go. I've made it. I'm not dead. Quick save. Let's go. It's only taken 7 deaths. Now we drop down here. Avoid all of the fire. Right, let's go follow Hadvar. Oh my goodness, I just got pushed by the dragon. Am I dead? I'm dead. It was literally a strong gust of wind and it just completely murdered our character. Right, and run. Straight into the keep. Avoid all of the dragons. Oh look, Raylof's here. Hi Raylof. You know, I'm going to join Raylof this time. Screw the Imperials. The door's closer. There we go. Oh, fantastic. Ah, there we go. Fantastic. My bindings are off. Oh, now some Imperial soldiers are coming over here and they're going to fight us. But of course, I'm going to have to leave them for Raylof to fight because my goodness, I cannot fight any of them. I have so little health, so if you just want to fight all of them, yep, that would be fantastic. Oh, and fantastic, our journey can continue. Okay, that's another death. Turns out I can kill myself by just walking a bucket against a wall and standing next to it. All right, here we go. This is the room where we finally get to gain a bow for the first time. However, we don't actually need to fight in that room at all because it's a bit of a challenge as they have a whole bunch of archers. And until we have a bow of our own, it is basically just suicide. However, if we just simply walk away from the room and let Raylof do all the fighting, it's a win-win for us. Right, now has Raylof dealt with all of them? Oh my goodness, he has. Look at that wonderful man. Doesn't even need me here. Now luckily we have a whole bunch of longbows and arrows scattered all over the ground for us to pick up and take, and trust me, we're going to be needing them. Ah, fantastic. So it's time for us to equip our actual weapon of choice now, which is going to be a longbow until we can find something a little bit more powerful. Ah, and now it's time for the most important section of the game, the bear section, because there's an enemy over there and it's technically sleeping, so it's not aggroed on us. Now is the perfect time to metagame our sneaking stat, because we're going to need the highest sneaking level possible to actually beat this game. So you know exactly what that means, ladies and gentlemen. It means turning on the auto walk and walking into a wall for about half an hour so that our character can survive. So let us simply walk up to this wall whilst being crouched and just walk against this wall. Perfect. And there we go. Now we're in a perfect spot to increase our sneak skill because we're close enough to them and the skill is actually leveling up. And so what I'll do is I'll just leave my character here for a good 40 or so minutes and then I'll be back and hopefully we'll be nice and high level in terms of sneaking. So I'll see each and every one of you in a short while. Well, after standing and sneaking into a wall for a stupidly long time, we've actually achieved a very high level of stealth. If I press tab and go into the level up section, we've even leveled up quite a few times and I can sink all of my level up points into some of these various attributes. Of course, I'm going to mostly sink them all into stamina because, well, we can't exactly add anything to health. That's just completely illegal. Now, the issue of leveling up my stealth so much is that I'm now level 10, but honestly, that's okay. It's okay to be level 10 because if anything, that allows me to sink some perk points into maybe allowing bows to do a little bit more damage. That's right, bows now do 40% bonus damage, but more importantly, deadly aim, so that sneak attacks with bows do 3 times the damage. Right, now let us simply kill this bear in one single shot, because stealth attacks now exist. Ah, perfect. This is part of the joy of glorious, perfectly balanced Skyrim, where you can finish the tutorial section at level 10, because why not? Who needs to play the game normally? So it's off into the glorious wider world we go, because we have a fantastic mission to do. So what I've done, ladies and gentlemen, is I've made my way all the way over to Dawnstar. We're over at the mine of the side of this hold. There is, of course, this very, very famous little rock here behind the tree, and of course, if you crouch on over to it, well, bam, you get a chest which is hidden in the floor containing all of these really awesome and lovely items, which of course we're going to steal. Now, who actually owns these items? Well, this is the chest which contains the entire inventory of the various Khajiit traders that come back and forth between this hold and several others. So all we want is to basically take all of their various items, but what we're going to want to do is basically wait for the Khajiit traders to arrive in a few days' time so that we can continuously punch them to reset their inventories, because what we're going to want in order to make our character actually safe are a couple of very important items that allow us to basically craft a set of equipment with the correct enchantments to keep our legendary character Nigel the Noodle alive, because he's just a weak little noodle. He needs protection. Every minute in Skyrim, a Nigel the Noodle dies of purely natural causes, but with your help and with just one like on this video, a Nigel the Noodle can be saved. Do your part so that no Nigel the Noodle has to live a disappointing life of death. They can be saved with your help. Thank you for watching. Who are these people? Oh, it's the Khajiits. They're here. Fantastic. Now, one of these various Khajiits is the actual owner of the caravan. Pretty sure it's our lovely sausage here. Yes, it's Madran. And so all we have to do is to basically go into his inventory and see what he has to sell. Now, of course, as we can see, he has some pretty jazzy items. He actually has one item that I want, which are the iron gauntlets of minor archery. This is an item that I'd really like to get my hands on. So what I'm going to do is sell him a few of his items that I actually stole from him, like the iron greatsword of sparks we don't need, this iron sword, wooden sword. I know it's the most powerful weapon in the game, but it's got to go. But what we definitely do need and want are his very important iron gauntlets of minor archery, because what we can do is we can break down this item and basically learn the enchantment of how to create items that increase the amount of damage bows do. So we buy that. That's 1,300 gold that we lose, but don't worry, we can simply get it back by selling all of these other items. Now, of course, what we're going to do is we want to reset his inventory and reset that chest over there. So the way to do so is simply drop down an autosave, attack him, and then reload that save. That temporarily makes him aggressive, and of course you'll notice he's temporarily aggressive for a moment when he reloads in, and that's enough to completely and utterly reset not only his inventory, but also the chest that is tied to his inventory. So we're going to go over and simply loot his chest. And now what I'm going to be doing is simply farming the Khajiit trade by going back and forth, punching the Khajiit, waiting for there to be an item that I'm looking for, and then going over to this chest to pick it up. Once we're done, we should have all of the ingredients necessary to pull off this exploit, and that will take our incredible wet noodle here and turn him into a supreme fiberglass coated noodle of ultimate power. Yes, that is the plan. Soon the entire world will learn to fear the legendary Nigel Nude. And here we have it, bam, hide braces of major alchemy. This is actually really good. This means that crafted potions are 17% more powerful if we wear it, but more importantly, if we break down this item, we gain the ability to add the alchemy buff to any items that we own, e.g. basic silver rings. Now, of course, what I'm going to do is not actually spend 1,200 gold to buy these. Instead, we're going to do the 5,000 IQ trade of, instead of buying something, just go and rob it instead. So we're going to run our way over to the lovely mine and find that glorious little chest. So, well, bam, here's our lovely little chest in the ground, and would you look at that? It's the hide braces of major alchemy, and yoink, they're now mine. And you know what? I think we're ready to move on to the next stage of the exploit, because we've got items of smithing and we've got items of enchanting. So I'm pretty sure this is now the perfect opportunity to move on to the next location. So for the next stage of making our character into a god, we're going to need to simply travel on over to Whiterun, which is something we actually haven't done yet. And the reason we're doing that is because Whiterun has basically the easiest locations to pull off this exploit in terms of having access to a forge and also having access to an alchemy and enchanting table that are next to each other, which is absolutely imperative. Now basically we need as many bits of jewelry as we can get, basically as many silver rings. Now we currently have 2 in our inventory, but that's honestly not enough, so the way we're going to have to do it is to generally buy them from traders. Now in terms of having access to a good supply of silver rings, this lovely lady over here in Whiterun always has a good supply of silver rings, so we can buy 2 of them off of her. That gives us 4 silver rings, but of course we need more, so we're just going to punch her in the head and then press F9. Some would say that this is beating up the elderly, but it is necessary, because this is the only way to force her to refresh her inventory, and trust me, we need it. Right, now what we're going to do is head on up to Whiterun now that we have a whole bunch of rings in our inventory. Remember, they have to be vaguely identical silver rings, and we're going to basically make our way over to the alchemy table, because we've got some things that we need to get started on. Now is of course the time when we're going to want to start doing a nice little bit of alchemy. So what do we need to do? Well, it's pretty simple. We need to actually use the enchanter here and learn a few enchantments so that we can improve items. So in order to do that, we must disenchant items, basically destroying them to learn their abilities permanently. In our case, that means destroying these lovely hide braces to learn how to make better crafted potions. Smithing is of course an important one. Basically just as many of these items that we can break down as possible, the better, because that's going to increase our ability to enchant future items anyway. So bam, there we go. We've broken all of those lovely items down. Now if we want to actually enchant an item, we can say select one of our silver rings here, go to the enchantment section, hit fortify alchemy, use a grand soul gem, and then we can have a silver ring here that means crafted potions are 8% more powerful. However, we're going to need something slightly more powerful than this. We're going to need to start doing a fortify restoration loop, and so for that we need more rings, probably some trousers for our sweet little noodly boy, but also ingredients for making fortify restoration potions, and the best thing is they're all exceedingly easy to get. So let's go item harvesting. Right, so I've finally gathered all of the necessary ingredients to actually make my items. So what we're going to be doing is enchanting items to allow us to make stronger potions, and then making a potion that allows us to enchant stronger enchantments. And then eventually we create an item or a potion which makes our smithing so powerful that we can create the ultimate weapon to keep our lovely 1 HP noodle alive. So what we're going to do is make a couple of silver rings that allow our alchemy stat to be increased, and we'll spend 5 soul gems making these really powerful silver rings. So we'll craft 1, and then we're just going to do this 5 more times, and this is going to level up our character and allow us to do stronger enchantments, but we don't really need to worry about that because the true power from this comes from the cycle that we're about to create. Now all of these rings need to have identical names, so I do advise that you don't name them at all, and you can make as many as you like. There is absolutely no limit, but I'm just making 5 because those are all the grand soul gems that I have. And there we have it. With those 5 rings, our enchanting stat has actually increased. We've actually even leveled up. So now with all of our rings, we're able to make stronger potions. The only issue is we're not able to make potions that are really that strong. How on earth are we going to break into the loop without max leveling our character over a series of days? Well, quite simply, we're gonna become a vampire or a werewolf. Either way works, but vampires are the easiest. So it's time for us to go off and join the Dawn Guard and then try and blitz our way through that quest line to become a vampire, because as soon as we gain the ability to be a vampire, we're going to be able to stack these rings. Now after becoming a vampire, I am in currently what is quite possibly one of the worst stun locks I've ever seen. So because I have 1 HP and I accidentally decided to leave the castle after becoming a vampire whilst the sun is out, that means I instantly die. And I just keep respawning and dying. I've died like maybe 15 times now. Oh, and I don't even know why. When the sun touches Nigel, sometimes he explodes into the skies, but you know, sometimes that's just the way it is. My goodness. Right, I'm gonna have to load a slightly older save here, I think, but hey, at least we're now a vampire. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We've now gained the power of the vampires thanks to the assistance of Janassa, and also I've done a little bit of digging around. So one thing that we needed to get out of the way was basically the 5 silver rings we made, because they don't actually have the same name. Technically speaking, I couldn't actually use them. So instead what I did was I found 2 identical necklaces of minor alchemy and duplicated them using the Whiterun doors and a follower. It's a nice and simple exploit. If you don't know it at this point, my goodness, Todd Howard help you. It's honestly one of the oldest and most basic features that Todd included. Now using these 6 identical alchemy items, what we're going to do is quite simply convert into a vampire whilst also talking to Janassa. So press the transformation key and the talk key at the same time. Then what you do is wait for this dialogue menu to open up, allow ourselves to transform into a vampire and say, hey, I need to trade some things with you. And here we go, we now trade with Janassa. Now what we want to do is basically get rid of all of these necklaces of minor alchemy. We don't want any of them. Get them to go into her inventory, and then in order to equip them onto ourselves, simply hold down the shift key and click. But yeah, shift and click to equip one of these. Make sure to equip them one at a time, by the way, and this will allow us to basically stack the effects of the necklace of minor alchemy. Then all we have to do is back on out of the trade, convert back into regular form, and then wabam, all we have to do is hop on over to the magic section and see active effects and see that all of these necklaces are boosting our ability to fortify alchemy, meaning we can make better potions, which is very important for the fortify alchemy loop. So without further ado, it's time for us to leave this area and go on over to Whiterun to start the fortify alchemy loop. Make sure to of course also drop down a save and now go out into the wider world, and hopefully I won't set on fire. Lovely stuff. I'm not burning to death. Isn't that a great sign? So it's over to Dragon's Reach we go. So what we need to do is simply use the alchemy lab and make ourselves a potion of restoration. Now as you can see already, this potion is going to mean that restoration spells are 45% stronger for 60 seconds, which is fantastic. So we'll activate that bad boy and then quit on out of the alchemy menu. Now what we're going to do is drink this potion of fortify restoration, which is twice as strong as the last one we made, and that will boost our apparel to make it slightly more powerful. As you can see, created potions are now 17% more powerful, and that's for each of these necklaces. And remember, we're using 6 of them, so when we hop back into the alchemy lab and make a new restoration potion, bam, 65% stronger. So we're going to make this bad boy, and now what we're going to do are gather the ingredients to make a enchanting potions so that we can make ourselves another item of armor which boosts our alchemy, probably something like some braces. Now working with the vampirism is just downright impossible. It will kill us too quickly. So instead, now that we have all of the necklaces actually added to us, we just need to cure ourselves of vampirism. How do you do that? Well, all you need to do is basically speak to any bartender about vague rumors, and they'll basically direct you to a character called Thalion, who's all the way over in Morphel, who studies vampires, and then all you need to do is just simply hop over there, buy a special black soul gem from him, fill the soul up, and then he'll cure you in a lovely little stone circle. This is the method we'll be using to personally get rid of our vampirism, because we've used it to gain our lovely alchemy buff, so from here on out it's only a hindrance. So over to Morphel we'll go, and I'll be back as soon as we've cured ourselves of this vampiric curse. Well, welcome back from our trip to Morphal. It was lovely and simple. We basically just rocked up, got cured of vampirism. Cost us about 700 gold, but it's all fine. Now, we also made a bit of money over there by just trading some of our excess items to traders, and that allowed us to scrounge up the cash to buy some basic leather goods. Now, we're going to use those leather goods to make a good set of equipment, but in order to make that good set of equipment, we first want to chug our potion of Fortify Restoration, which means restoration spells are 45% stronger. This then allows us to use the alchemy lamp to make two very important potions. A potion of Fortify Restoration, which is 68% more powerful, but also a brand new type of potion. That's right. We're going to need our snowberries and spriggan sap, and this allows us to make an enchanting potion. So we're bam, for 30 seconds, items enchanted are 12% stronger. Not the greatest item, but it will have to do, because now we're going to use the Arcane Enchanter. So for that, we're going to drink the potion of Fortifying Enchanting, pop ourselves into the Arcane Enchanter, whack on our leather braces, select the enchantment of Fortify Alchemy, whack on a Greater Soul Gem, and it's not the best, but it will have to do. 10% will be fine. So now what we can do is take off our silver ring and pop on our leather braces of increased alchemy, and then equip the silver ring again, and now also drink the potion of Fortify Restoration 68%. That's going to boost up this silver ring to 18% and these leather braces to 12%, and each of these amulets now at 20%. Now we go to the alchemy lab and we make ourselves another Fortify Restoration potion. This one 85% stronger. Yep, it's as powerful as that. Now, normally you can only really pull off this Fortify Exploration loop when you're really into the late game of Skyrim, when your alchemy is at 100. But because we've stacked so many items using the werewolf and vampire exploit of wearing as many necklaces as you like, we're able to bypass the necessity of being a high-level alchemist. We can be a level 1 scrub alchemist, and yet we're still able to make probably the most powerful potions in the game. Let's drink this potion again, and yep, the braces aren't improving and the silver rings aren't improving, so this is it. We've hit our cap. Until we get more items, we simply can't make a better Fortify Restoration potion. So I'll make a couple of restoration potions and go get myself some better items. Right, hello ladies and gentlemen, we're back. It's a little bit later on and our items are looking quite good. We've managed to pick ourselves up this lovely circlet of eminent alchemy. I've also power leveled our alchemy stat a little bit more, not by too much, only up to about 41, and this is going to allow us to make better potions of restoration. I mean, already if we combine them together using the items that we just have on our person, then that's a restoration potion which is at 102%. So we'll make one of those bad boys, and then all we have to do to make an even stronger potion is to chug our restoration potion. So restoration potion, which is 102% strength. Of course, we need to take off any enchanting gear that we can, and then chug this bad boy and then whack back on all of our alchemy equipment. There we go. The braces are immediately up to 34%, the circlet is up to 40%, the silver ring is at 22%, and the 6 necklaces are all at 24%. So we're bam, with that improved, we can then use the alchemy lab again, make another Fortify Restoration potion, and bam, 210%. That's twice as strong. Now that's what I like to see. So we take off the circlet, we take off the gauntlets, we take off the ring, and now we chug ourselves that restoration potion. All of that equipment now is going to start looking pretty damn good. Circlet's now almost making 100% more powerful potions. Same for the braces. Silver ring, 53% boost. These minor necklaces of alchemy, 58% each, and there's 6 of them, meaning they're giving 300% boosts to our created potions, which is just absolutely insane. So now, use the alchemy lab once more, make another incredible restoration potion, 760% stronger. Oh, we're into the death spiral now, ladies and gentlemen. This is it. Pop on out of the menu, take off all of the gear. Yes, this is it. Now this is enchanting. Circlet is now up to 172%, the braces are at 146, the rings at 94, the necklaces are all at 100%, meaning they now give 600% improved alchemy instead of just the paltry 300 they were last time. Oh my goodness, we're dropping down a quick save. Right, use the alchemy lab, Fortify Restoration, bam bam, 1953%. This is it. This is the end game, ladies and gentlemen. We're approaching Thanos levels of enchantments. Take off all of the apparel, chug it, take a look at the apparel, and it's a 400% for the helmet. Oh my goodness, the necklaces are at 246%. Okay, these necklaces are now boosting our potions by about 1400%. Oh my goodness, this is perfect. So there we go. Potion that is now 9,000% in strength. We probably want to keep going until we're at about the 10,000 region, maybe a bit more. And there we have it. The necklaces are now providing 6,000% boosts to any created potion. Oh my goodness. This is it. I think this has to be the end game. I don't think we can make potions more powerful than this. You know, we should probably make an enchanting potion at this point. So take off these bad boys, make a potion of enchanting. Enchanted items are 484% stronger. Perfect. That's something. Let's quit on out of this alchemy menu, chug ourselves the Fortify of Enchanting Potion, use the Arcane Enchanter, and let's make ourselves something. We've got 3 silver rings here, and we're going to see if we can fortify alchemy into them, and bam, yes, we can create a ring, fill it with a greater soul gem, a silver ring that makes potions 100% more powerful right out of the gate. Sounds pretty darn good. So bam, it's the magic ring. So now we have a slightly better ring to put on, so we can take off the regular boring silver ring that only boosts stuff by 11% and instead put on the premium silver ring that creates potions at 100% more powerful. Very nice. This allows us to basically blitz our way through the Fortify Restoration loop anytime we want to do it again. Speaking of which, all we have to do is chug one of these very powerful potions, the most powerful one we have at 1900%. That's immediately going to boost up our items to the 400% region so that we can use the alchemy lab, make this super strong potion, quit on out of the alchemy lab, chug the super strong potion, then chug the next super strong potion once we take our alchemy items on and off, I guess. Oh my goodness, the magic ring now makes potions 44,000 times more powerful. Okay, so a Fortify Enchanting Potion, 5,000 times stronger enchantments. You know what? I think that'll do. I think that might be enough to enchant an item. Okay, right, let's use the Arcane Enchanter. Okay, right, let's back out of this bad boy and chug ourselves a potion of 5,000% strength, and let's make ourselves another magic ring. Actually, no, I suppose we can go for a necklace here, right? Necklace, enchantment, fortify alchemy, whack on a just generic greater soul gem, and immediately created potions are stupidly powerful. I can't even calculate that. And bam, let us craft this item. This is it. We've completely broken the game. This is the legendary item of Todd Help. Sure, we have stacked here 6 necklaces of minor alchemy, which was so useful to get us into the exploit, but as soon as the exploit of the infinite loop of ever-increasing power takes off, you can then just create 1 Todd Help and we can take off all of these items. Although apparently we can wear this alongside the necklaces of minor alchemy. I really thought these were just automatically unequipped, but no, apparently the game's bugged, so we can still wear them. Okay, most importantly, we can take off all of the other stuff because we don't need the magic ring. We just need Todd Help. Todd Help is all we need to make the most powerful potions in the game. So what are we going to do? Well, we're going to make one more potion, a potion of Fortify Smithing, and this potion will allow us to basically create base weapons that are more powerful. So it will allow us to hopefully build a bow or some kind of ranged weapon that can do a lot of damage. Actually, I've just realized we don't need to make a potion. What was I even thinking? We can use the Arcane Enchanter because I have an item that I can enchant. This leather armor I can fortify with smithing. Yes, I can fortify a chest with the bonus of smithing, and this will mean I can improve items by an increased amount. Oh, this is it. Fantastic. Now all I need is some kind of grand stone. So Farengar, give me your greatest soul gem. And there we go. 1 grand soul gem. That's what we're looking for. Fantastic stuff. Thank you, Farengar. So now all we have to do is chug ourselves, I guess we can chug one of these Fortify Restoration potions and then chug this Fortify Enchanting Potion, which will of course mean enchanted items are 5,000% stronger. Use the Arcane Enchanter and make a piece of leather armor with the enchantment of Fortify Smithing using the Grand Soul Gem. And now we have, oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen, it's the Infinity Chestplate. Oh, let's craft this bad boy. Now the Infinity Chestplate is a very unique item, of course designed and lovingly handcrafted by Nigel here, because what this item does is very simple. Whilst it might look like a relatively standard piece of leather armor, which gives us 29 armor, that's fantastic. That's not going to stop anything when you have 1 HP. What's really special about it is the fact that weapons and armor can now be improved by 250,000%. Now that's quite nice, because normally when you improve weapons and armor, you give them a nice little damage boost of 2 or 3. But now when we improve weapons, we really improve them. Let's go find ourselves a grindstone, because we've got one hell of a weapon to create. So over to the workbench. This allows us to improve items of armor, which aren't particularly very impressive. We don't really want to do that. Instead, we want to use the grindstone here and improve a weapon. Now, if we were to improve the Ancient Nord bow, we can make it into a legendary Ancient Nord bow that does 400 damage instead of its boring 3, I think. And we can boost this crossbow to do 420 damage. Nice. You know what? Let's make a legendary crossbow. Perfect. Now, if we were to equip this very jazzy crossbow and wield it, it's going to do a whole bunch of damage now. So I guess what I can do is I can shoot someone and we can see how much it does. Like this guard. Yeah, it seems to work. Don't shoot me, Whiterun. Oh, Whiterun guard can still one-hit me. Anyway, of course, we have to do the classic test that we always do in these videos, which is, of course, fight the Ebony Warrior. So I'm going to have to do some console magic shenanigans and spawn myself in an Ebony Warrior just to see how well we compare against them. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen, let us place down one ebony warrior. And here he is. He's a lovely, friendly little guy. He is pretty tall in comparison to us. I mean, we just kind of come up to here on his little chest. Hello. Now, he's quite friendly until, of course, we attack him. So what we're going to do is do the classic fair and square thing by standing over here and shooting him with a crossbow. It would seem that we have beaten Skyrim. Ebony Warrior is no match for the mighty Nigel the Noodle. The only issue is when you spawn in 2 Ebony Warriors and Nigel shoots one of them, because the other one is a goddamn terrifying monstrosity. Oh no, we missed. What is happening? What is happening? What was that? Oh, Todd. So yes, fighting 1 Ebony Warrior, piece of cake. Fighting 2 Ebony Warriors, not actually possible because the second one will close the ground and gank us immediately. But that is the life of the glass cannon that is Nigel the Noodle. He's just kind of made the world a little bit more perfectly balanced, if you know what I mean. The ability to one-hit the world and have the world one-hit back. Now that's the perfectly balanced way of living. Anyway, I'm afraid that's all we have time for today in the lovely world of Skyrim. If you've enjoyed Nigel's glorious quest, then of course make sure to give the video a like and hop on down into the lovely comment section and praise our glorious god and creator Todd Howard for giving us this fantastic experience. I hope you all enjoyed celebrating a merry Toddsmas in December and you're all excited to see what he has in store for us in 2021. I hope it's another Skyrim release. Anyway, as always, thank you very much to each and every one of our majestic patrons who make these fantastic videos all the more possible. Thanks to all of their generous funding, we're going to be doing some unique projects very soon. So I've been working on a Rust server since October and it's nearing completion, and trust me, it's going to be glorious, so thank you very much for your support. Anyway, as always, if you're new here and you want to watch more Spiffing Brit videos, I've got a whole bunch of playlists of some of my greatest videos of all time. If you enjoyed this, you're going to love the Skyrim playlist. It is an absolute incredible wonderland where we create some of the silliest and greatest weapons of the Skyrim universe. Because as great as a rapid-firing one-hit crossbow is, it's certainly not going to beat a fork which has the heat yield of a burning sun. Anyway, I'll see each and every one of you in the next one. Have an absolutely lovely day and goodbye for now.